Thanks for joining me for today's short scale study. So today, we're going to focus on building our tone and technique in the key of concert C major. For clarinet, that requires us to play our D major scale. And to get started with that, we've got to review some two fingerings that may come in handy for you in concert C major. Before we do all that though, let's review the names of the notes and the fingerings we're going to need. So, we're going to start with the note D, then E. Our scale has an F sharp, G, A. Now here's where it gets a little tricky, but this is going to help us with the next few notes. We're going to play B with one pinky. Our right pinky is going to place down this key right here for B. And then to play C sharp, our left pinky, our right one was playing B, our left pinky is going to hit the C sharp key here while we lift up our B key, and then release them both to give us high D. Let's use that for number one, the major scale and arpeggio quarter notes. I've got my metronome set at 70 beats per minute for these advanced scale studies, so let's dive right in. 1, 2, ready. Now, you need to also remember that we're going to use the register key in the back for the notes B, C sharp, and D. So if you made that error, or you just want more practice with the quarter note scale, go back and rewind and do that one again. Remember, your fingering for B is your right pinky, your C sharp is your left pinky, and then release both pinkies for D. Now let's move on to number 2, the major scale and arpeggio in eighth notes. Remember that F sharp, C sharp, B natural, high D, lots to remember. 1, 2, and ready, and go. Very good. Next we'll move on to the study called major chords. We've got two notes to choose from. I'll play the bottom notes. You can play the top and we'll have a nice little duet. Here we go. Remember your F sharps and your B naturals. 1, 2, ready. Great. Next we're going to move on to the pattern of thirds. Here we go. F sharps. 1 and 2 and ready and go. Nicely done. Now we're going to move on to our chromatic pivot scale. Our pivoting note is the note A. The other notes are chromatic notes. And we're going to use our G sharp and our G, our F sharp and our F, which is our finger in the front. We're going to use our E, and in the next to last measure is a D sharp. Do you remember that a D sharp is the same as the fingering for E flat? Well, if you don't, it's the first two keys on our left hand, and we'll need the right hand to activate the side key, which I call the E flat key. We will need our thumb in the back, but we won't need it on the register key. So that's a D sharp. Let's do that chromatic pivot scale, starting on A. 1, 2, ready, and. Next, we're going to do our chromatic scale. In the chromatic scale, we start on the note D, and then right away we're going to use that D sharp or E flat fingering. Then we'll play E and F sharp and G, and then a G sharp, which is the side key with our first finger on our left hand, and then an A. In the third measure, we have an A sharp. Well, that's nothing more than a B flat. So your B flat fingering will do. Then after that A sharp is a B, and that's the B that we'll use both pinkies in the normal place to activate the B key. Then a C follows that, a C sharp follows that, and we're going to use that C sharp fingering where we're using our left pinky on the C sharp key, and then we release both of our pinkies for the high D. Coming down the scale, the second note may be confusing, that high D flat. Well, if you remember the C sharp that we played on the way up, where the two pinkies are activated here, that'll help you play that D flat. Then going down, we've got the C, the B flat, the A flat. Oh, A flat's the same as G sharp. Then a G. Here's a tricky one, G flat. G flat is nothing more than F sharp, and that's a note we use often on the clarinet. So there you go. Then F, then E, then our E flat fingering, and we finish with the D. Now, if you ever need help, there is a reference chart at the back of this book that has all the fingerings in a complete fingering guide. Let's play the chromatic scale. 1, 2, ready, and. And we'll finish with the chorale. Now the chorale says that the tempo is 132 beats per minute, but I've played the whole study at 70 that I'm not going to change it. We're going to play it at 70. There's two sharps, F sharp and C sharp. I'll play the bottom part. That'll give you the challenge to try to play the top part alongside me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready, set, begin. And there you have it, Concert C Major. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that you'll play along with me in this scale study again. Also, consider moving on to the other scale studies, the advanced scale studies, and then on to some of the lesson book studies. See you again soon. Keep practicing.